We can eat to preserve our vision. Vision is one of these senses that is the most precious sense to us, but we don't think about it until we start to lose it. I'm going to give three grand slamming foods that I think are just winners.
Millions of people experience declining vision as they age.
Most common causes of vision loss and cognitive loss is actually interference with the circulation of both our eyes and our brain.
But what if you could help protect your eyesight with simple changes to your diet?
Let me tell you that what we're beginning to understand is that some specific plant-based foods are actually able to protect our blood vessel, protect our vision, and what's good for our eyes are good for our brain. So you get a twofer, a double-barreled approach to overall better quality of life and protected function.
Dr. William Li is a world-renowned physician, scientist, and author known for his research on using food to prevent and treat diseases.
I became a foodist medicine researcher because I have a background doing medical therapy development, as you actually mentioned in my intro. I was looking at blood vessels as a common denominator of disease. And by looking at ways to wrangle the common denominator, like what is it that underlies, connects all these different diseases from vision loss to cognitive dysfunction and dementia to obesity to diabetes to cancer to heart disease? Well, it turns out to be blood vessels. And so what I did is I did a deep dive into this space to ask, what medical treatments, biotech treatments can we actually wrangle, can maneuver, help produce, squeeze out using innovation? And that became such a successful enterprise. I then started to ask, well, what happens if we start throwing food into the same system? And what I discovered is that when we started throwing food and food extracts into these drug development systems to help keep blood vessels healthy, including vision, I found that about 50% of the foods that we were actually testing were as or more potent than the drugs.
In this video, we're breaking down Dr. William Li's top recommendations for foods that support eye health, plus a few bonus tips on what to avoid to keep your vision sharp. Number 1. Eggs.
Eggs contain lutein and zeaxanthin. These are two of the bioactives that are found in the supplement AREDS2. They can actually help prevent progression of vision loss from macular degeneration as we're aging. And what's wonderful is that it's found in the egg yolk. In fact, these bioactives are carotenoids that make the egg yolk orange.
Dr. Li explains that eggs are packed with lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that protect your eyes from harmful blue light and UV rays. These nutrients are critical for maintaining healthy retinas and lowering your risk of macular degeneration, a leading cause of blindness. Plus, eggs are also a great source of vitamin A, which supports overall eye health. Whether scrambled, boiled, or in an omelet, eggs are a vision-friendly powerhouse. Adding them to your diet can significantly boost your intake of these eye-protective nutrients.
So if you've ever eaten eggs and you look at the egg yolk and it's just bright yellow like the sun, that is actually an egg that doesn't really have the richest amount of carotenoids, so lutein and zeaxanthin. What you really want are eggs that come from pasture-raised or free-range hens that are able to eat anything they want. They eat the things that hens eat, and from the plant-based foods that the hens eat, they get lutein and zeaxanthin, and they actually put it into their eggs. The hens put that healthy carotenoids into the eggs, and then when we eat the eggs, we actually get the benefit. Our eyes actually get the benefits. So that's what I recommend, that you actually look for eggs that come from pasture-raised or free-range hens. So when you crack open the egg and look at the yolk, it should be it should be really rich orange, dark orange, even red orange, like the blood moon. That's what I actually say.
Number 2, sweet potatoes.
I love sweet potato, all right? And sweet potato contains vitamin A, retinol, and this is actually also important for retinal health. And just 1 cup of sweet potato contains, guess what? 1,920 micrograms of retinol activity, which is 213%.
Sweet potatoes are loaded with beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, an essential nutrient for good vision. Vitamin A helps prevent night blindness, supports the function of the cornea, and keeps your eyes from drying out. Beta-carotene also shields your eyes from oxidative stress and damage caused by free radicals. With more than 200% of your daily vitamin A in a single serving, Sweet potatoes are truly a superfood for your eyes.
Sweet potatoes, vitamin A, chock full of vitamin A, good for retinal health, good for eyesight, good for protecting your vision.
Food number 3, collard greens. Collard greens are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, much like eggs, but in even higher concentrations. These antioxidants help filter out harmful light and protect the macula, the part of your eye responsible for central vision. Collard greens are also high in vitamin C, which promotes healthy blood vessels in the eyes and reduces the risk of cataracts.
Now, collard greens are part of brassica, and brassica contains sulforaphanes. These sulforaphanes, or natural chemicals, are actually really great for our metabolism. They lower inflammation. They're good to help us fight excess harmful body fat. Lots of good reasons to actually have collard greens as part of the brassica family. But guess what? Collard greens also have a lot of vitamin A. In fact, 1 cup of cooked collard greens has 80% of your daily value, So it's a great source, plenty in collard greens.
Whether sautéed, added to smoothies, or used in salads, collard greens are an eye-friendly food you don't want to skip. Number 4, cantaloupes. Cantaloupes are packed with beta-carotene and vitamin C, making them a double threat against eye disease. Beta-carotene helps prevent vision loss by protecting the surface of your eyes, while vitamin C supports healthy connective tissue and blood vessels around the eyes. Plus, cantaloupe's high water content helps keep your eyes hydrated and reduces the risk of dryness.
1 cup of cut up cantaloupe has about 30% of your daily value for retinol, all right, retinoic acid, vitamin A. So it's a great source. And who only eats 1 cup of cantaloupe, right? I usually eat, when I'm sitting down eating a cantaloupe and cut it up into cubes, I'll probably eat 1 or 2 cups, actually. And so you get basically more than half of your daily value of vitamin A by just eating a serving or 2 of cantaloupe.
Snack on cantaloupe slices, toss them in a fruit salad, or blend them into a smoothie for a sweet way to boost your eye health. Food number 5, corn. Corn is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 antioxidants known for shielding your eyes from damage caused by blue light and UV exposure. These nutrients help maintain healthy eye cells and reduce the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration. The antioxidants in corn also support better blood flow to the eyes, enhancing vision over time.
Yellow corn has the highest amount of lutein and zeaxanthin. Blue corn has the least, all right? So get yellow corn. And I love just fresh corn on the cob. You know, you can pick out the corn. It's got the covering on it, the leaves on it. You peel it off, rinse it off, and just boil it. Don't overboil it. Boil it just to its right. You can look up on the internet how to actually do this, and then just eat a simple cob of corn. Again, rather than put butter on it, which is kind of a old tradition. Like when I was growing up, we always put butter in our corn. What I say is just put a little extra virgin olive oil on it and a tiny little bit of salt, and you'll get a really delicious flavor. And now you get the polyphenols from the olive oil as well as the lutein and zeaxanthin from corn. And by the way, corn protein, new research shows corn protein is also good for cognition, good for memory. And so corn's just a really simple but great and healthy food. Popcorn, also a good source of dietary fiber.
Whether grilled, steamed, or added to salads, corn is an easy, delicious way to protect your eyesight. To sum it up, the top 5 foods for protecting your vision, eggs, sweet potatoes, collard greens, cantaloupe, and corn, are not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients that help keep your eyes healthy and sharp. In addition to eating these vision-protecting foods, Dr. Lee has some important tips on what to avoid to keep your eyes healthy.
Drinking soda, which is really popular. I grew up drinking soda, like most other people. Something to cut down and cut out. Lots and lots of added sugar to it. Okay, and even the diet sodas, which actually have non-nutritive artificial sweeteners, they actually can also damage our circulation and damage our brain function by in interfering with our gut health, which we're now beginning to realize is connected to our vision health and our brain health and our overall body health as well. So cut down or cut out sodas, whether it's diet or regular, number 1. Number 2, cut down on ultra processed foods. Chips actually are a great example. Those nuclear colored chips are a great example of something that everyone loves. Okay, but they're ultra processed. They take whole foods like wheat and other types of whole grains, and they machine them and extrude them and then paint them with colors and then put artificial preservatives and flavorings and seasonings, all to do something that really might be addictive, because it's hard to eat just one. But the bottom line is that those ultra processed foods, of which I think snack chips are a great example, if you cut down or cut out. The third one I would actually tell you is processed meats. Processed meats, by the way, by the World Health Organization, is classified as a carcinogen. All right. We do know that actually eating processed meats increases the risk of colon cancer and esophageal and stomach cancer if you eat them a lot. We now know with modern research that those types of ultra processed meats, bologna, salami, pepperoni, all the stuff that are made. I'm not talking about the old world, old school things that are air dried and minimally no preservatives put in them. Those are a different type of product. I'm talking about the stuff you can buy cheap at the deli that are found everywhere. They're sliced onto your pizza. Cut down and cut out.
Here's a couple of other tips to protect your vision as well. Avoid excess salt. Over time, excess dietary salt gives us hypertension, high blood pressure. The salt in your blood actually moves fluid into your bloodstream. Now you get like a huge amount of fluid in your body, and that causes hypertension. It stresses out the lining of your blood vessels called the endothelium, and now your blood vessels get hard, and that is a setup. Hypertension is called the silent killer, and it sets you up for heart attack and stroke. Now, hypertension and hardening of the vessels in your retina and underneath that layer also can accelerate vision loss as well. So you don't want to actually have too much salt. Good for your brain to lower salt. Good for your vision as well. Another thing you want to do to avoid is actually to avoid overeating, because overeating, excess caloric intake, sets you up for metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a setup for type 2 diabetes, and type 2 diabetes can lead to diabetic retinopathy. Remember, the retina is the back of the eye, that carpet, and diabetes can affect and damage the retina, especially the circulation, the blood vessels feeding that retina. You get leakage, you get non-perfusion, you've got blood vessels growing like crazy, and you can actually have bleeding in your retina, and that can wipe out your vision as well. So avoid diabetes, okay? And one way to avoid diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is actually to avoid overeating. There's a lot of other ways that are involved with this as well, but overeating is a big one. Now, there are some other things you should look for on an everyday basis to make sure you're protecting your vision. For example, if you have blurred vision, that's a symptom. Blurred vision is a symptom of all kinds of eye diseases. If the blurred vision doesn't clear up, or you start seeing wavy lines in your sight line, better go see an eye doctor, all right? Or if you can't see out of one eye. Most people don't do this because we just look out of both eyes, but if you cover one eye and you can't see anything, all right, but on this eye, you cover it, you can actually see. You got a problem with one eye, then you need to see an eye doctor, because one of those eyes, the one that you can't see out of well, is going to have a problem. It's up to you to protect your vision. Your ophthalmologist will help you do it at the medical level, and there's foods that you can actually eat in order to be able to help protect your vision as well.
Have you tried any of these vision-protecting foods? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more health tips backed by science. And don't forget to check out our next video here.